Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Thursday, August 26, 2021. And today's the day that's ruled by the second chakra and guided by self-generation. And on the 23rd, which I was absent as far as the daily reading and energies went, we actually did enter the second moon or month of the galactic calendar. And this is the lunar moon of challenge. And so from the 23rd of August until the 19th of September, we're going to be within this lunar moon of challenge. And the lunar energy or the lunar tone should be familiar to a lot of us. Anybody who's been following this channel, we know that we just moved through the blue lunar storm year, which ended on July 25th, or really on the 24th, and then we had the day out of time. And on the 26th, we began the year of the yellow electric seed. And for those of you who haven't watched the yellow electric seed video yet, I encourage you to do so. It is located in the wave spells and the galactic wave spells, and the playlist has those words in it. And so just look for whatever playlist sounds like what I'm saying right now, and that's the one that you're going to find that yellow electric seed video under, just to better understand the energies of this galactic year that we're working with. But the year before was the year of the blue lunar storm. And so we really came to understand this lunar tone of challenge, right? It's the energy of polarization, of stabilization through polarization and challenge. And there's a lot of contrast available to us when we're working with this lunar energy. There's a lot that's revealed to us through this energy of challenge, and we learn to look at challenges as opportunities for growth. We learn to look at contrast as a great gift that is showing us what we want versus what we don't, so that we can create, of course, more of what we do want. So this is a big energy. There's going to be a lot of energy shaking and moving. We are also into Uranus retrograde right now. So Uranus retrograding during the lunar moon of challenge is going to be interesting, to say the least. There will be a video coming out on the Uranus retrograde over the next few days. I will be getting that out for you guys, because that's a big energy that we're working with this year as we continue this process of shaking up that which is not working, of divine intervention, of our evolution, and people really getting riled up. That's going to be the energy of it. It's lighting a fire under our ass, that's for sure, as if it weren't already there, right? But that's okay, right? We're made of the fire. The fire is transformation, right? That fire is, we are the fire. And so we don't fear the fire, right? But getting back to this here, we have the blue galactic eagle as our individual signature for the day. And for those of you who also didn't check out the wave spell video, we are in the wave spell of the yellow magnetic, or the yellow star. So check out that video as well. That's the overriding energy for the next 13 days. But today specifically, we're working with the blue galactic eagle energy. This is the energy of creation, vision, and mind. And we talk about the blue eagle energy. We talk about the eagle energy in general all the time, and we talk about eagle vision. So this is that ability to soar high above a situation, high above a terrain, and to view everything from that higher planetary mind, that higher perspective. So we're really being given the gift of the eagle vision today. We're being asked to employ the eagle vision in every situation, in every scenario that we find ourselves in. View it from that higher perspective. Take in everything, all the variables possible when you are acting, when you are making decisions, when you are interacting with others. This blue eagle energy is really beautiful because we use that higher planetary mind and vision in order to create. And so these creations come from that higher inspiration. So it's a really beautiful energy to create with and to create from. And it really reminds me of when we talk about how all possibilities are possible, but we want to stay open to possibilities that we can't even fathom when we are wanting to create and manifest, right? Because spirit sees from that eagle mind. Spirit knows everything, knows all, knows every possibility, and can bring things together for us in a way that we could never do if we were simply seen from our own limited perspective. And so it's that idea. It's seen from as high of a spiritual perspective as we possibly can as we move through today. Ask the eagle to help. Call on the spirit, the medicine of the eagle. If you are seeking to see a situation from a higher perspective, ask the eagle to see through its eyes. Right? This is a very powerful meditation that we can do as we call upon and we invoke that spirit of the eagle. What else do we want to talk about here? Yeah, it's a broad and objective view. Those being really key words, broad and objective. Objective is when we look without attachment, without bias. Subjective is when we are reading into something, utilizing our own perceptions, our own biases, reading our own feelings and our own belief systems into it. When we go to that objective view, we're letting all of that stuff go. And we're simply looking at it as if we were looking at it from an outsider's perspective. But with that wisdom at the same time, that wisdom of the eagle, that wisdom of the collective mind. So getting that greater vision today for your life, for the planet. This eagle energy is a planetary energy. And so it's not just looking at what is best and what is in the highest good for me. It's looking at what is for the highest good of all. And really working towards that humanitarian type energy, that Aquarian type energy. This is also an energy of independence, of being an independent thinker. And really having that independence of mind, that independence of vision. And building strong relationships and connections with others, but from that place of firmly knowing the self. The affirmations for today are, I harmonize in order to create. Modeling mind. I seal the output of vision with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of self-generation. And with this galactic tone, that is what we are working with. We are working with the energy of harmony. We're also working not only with the energy of harmony when we're working with this galactic energy, but the energy of integrity. And so and we talk about integrity all the time, right? It means the truth, our words and our actions matching what's going on. Our outsides matching our insides. Living our truth. That's integrity. When our words and our actions and our deeds model what is true within us. So really working with that energy of integrity, being integrous. I don't know if that's a word or not, but it is today, with everything that we do. In every interaction. And having that inner integrity as well, right? Where we're true to ourselves. When we speak the truth to ourselves, when we acknowledge the truth to ourselves. Another definition of integrity that I heard once that I really liked was integrity is what you do when somebody's not watching, right? It's really easy to act in a way that is going to gain us applause. But what do you do when people aren't looking? When you don't have an image to uphold? What do you do in those moments? That truly shows your integrity and your character, much more than what you do when the world is watching. And so in the meantime, as we are developing integrity, we can look at it simply as, if we need practice with this, right? Acting in every moment as though the world were watching us. If we are somebody who is still working through that ego construct of needing that validation, we can utilize that. We can pretend the world is watching you all the time. And so what would you do? That's a good practice energy right there. So the secondary affirmation is, I am man eagle. I am your ability to build up relationships and connections from a position of independence. I give to you vision and self-confidence. So what does that mean? Building up relationships and connections from a place of independence. That means not shifting and changing who we are in order to fit in. Right? It means not people pleasing. It means being who we truly are, being truly authentic, which is, once again, integrity. Modeling integrity. And knowing that the right people will love exactly who we are. The right people will be drawn to that. It's really, I always tell people, like, the easiest way to get rid of all the people in your life that aren't necessary, that you don't need there, that aren't your true friends, aren't your true tribe, is to just be yourself all the time. When you are yourself all the time, you will see who's meant to stay and who's meant to go. It's really easy and really simple. And you can just let everybody who's not down with who you are filter away. It takes a lot of the work and the effort out of trying to determine who is meant to be in my circle. Right? They'll show themselves when you show yourself. I just heard the quote, show me mine and I'll show you mine if you show me yours in my head. So do it. Be authentic, be you, and watch what happens. Right? Watch how the people who are not meant to be in your life filter themselves out naturally. It's always, we're working with the path of least resistance here, right? Just allowing things to flow. It's so much easier when we do these things and we just allow other people to do the work for us. The guidance for today is to focus on seeing the larger plan, flying above like an eagle with keen, clear sight. Use the power of your mind to create, inspired by commitment to your vision. Believe in your connection to the planetary mind. So what is your vision? Really fine-tuning that and looking at that today. All right, here is the reading from Astro Dream Advisor. Blue Eagle reminds you to step powerfully into your commitment as a planetary server. Your assignment includes whatever furthers your personal evolution and the evolution of global mind. You are an awakener, a transformer, an empowered global visionary. In your vision, you have compassion for others, and your decisions are made in the light of global consciousness. Ask yourself how you might experience compassion towards self, the earth, and others. Be guided toward types of work, relationships, places to live, and projects that will benefit the earth and her creatures. Allow your spirit to expand. Soar on your spreading wings and planetary perspective. Affirm. Through you, Gaia, I am transformed. I am awakening as the return of divine love and light. We are all one, Gaia. As you awaken, I heal myself. As I awaken, you are healed. And together our petals open ecstatically to the new sun of flowers. You are a member of the One Global family, a planetary server and transformer. Blue Eagle asks you to join in lifting the collective mind. It is up to each one of us to hold a positive vision and affirmation. For the means by which this miracle will occur is through changes in the one affecting the greater whole. This is why everything that we do is so powerful. Imagine the profound impact your loving thoughts have on planetary mind. You do make a difference. Excuse me, guys. As you connect individually with the larger crystal grid network, your power is multiplied exponentially. This galactic grid is also known as the Mayan cobweb. The greatest gift you can offer to the planet is to simply be the love. Believe in yourself and your dreams and visions. Remember your special gifts, your path of service on earth, your promise to serve the light. Everything that you are connects to the greater whole. You are star-seeded. You have the vision of the eagle. Believe in your dreams. You are the hope and the vision revealed. And there's something that I said that is bothering me a little bit, so I just want to clarify. So when I was talking about following the path of least resistance, that doesn't mean going with the crowd because it's easier. That doesn't mean people pleasing. That just means, well, you guys know what I meant by that. Being yourself, living your truth, that truly is the path of least resistance. Because it takes so much more energy to be somebody else. It takes so much more energy to compromise yourself and your spirit and your truth over and over and over again. So it may not seem or feel like the path of least resistance when you are speaking your truth, when you are living in your integrity, and it's ruffling people's feathers. Right? When it's perhaps not seeming to get you what you want in the short term. But remember, we're playing the long game here. We're not looking at the short-term gratification. We have that eagle mind. We're seeing that higher vision, and we're working towards that. We're working with that. And when we follow that higher vision, that is ultimately the path of least resistance. Even though we may feel or experience or sense some resistance during that process from the outside. It's actually a lot easier to experience resistance from the outside than to experience resistance internally. That internal resistance, that tumultuous internal energy is that's much more difficult and much more painful than experiencing some outer resistance from the people that you are triggering and awakening. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into the astrology for today. So we have Venus in an opposition to Chiron retrograde right now. Venus in Libra, Chiron in Aries. And yesterday we did have the moon in this opposition to Venus. And so today with this Venus opposing Chiron is really a very similar energy to what it was yesterday when Venus was opposing the moon. So we're looking at wounds relating to our ability to be independent. So this blue eagle energy is right on time, right? These wounds, right? Chiron represents our deepest wounds related to our independence, related to finding our voice, related to pursuing what it is that we desire, related to our ability to assert ourselves and our will, right? Aries, ruled by Mars. And then we have Venus in Libra, which is all about relationship. It's all about harmony. This is the energy where we have to be very careful, just like we were just talking about, where you can fall, Venus in Libra can fall very easily into that people-pleasing energy. It wants harmony at all costs. She wants beauty and harmony at all costs. This is a beautiful artistic energy. But it's definitely an energy where we want to be aware of that. And as Venus moves through Libra and continues her transit through Libra this month, this is an energy that's going to keep coming up. It's the energy of learning how to balance. It's the energy of learning what true beauty is and how do we express true beauty and harmony in our lives. And people pleasing is not true harmony. That's shallow, superficial harmony. So that's what we're learning, the difference between true harmony and shallow and getting along, right? Harmony is when complementary forces are brought together. Getting along is when forces and energies that are not necessarily complementary are changed and altered in order to become or appear complementary. So we're seeing and understanding the difference between those two things. And today's a day where we may have some of those wounds coming up around where it is that we've compromised ourselves in order to get along, to get by, to get through, to get along. And this is energy that we're going to be seeing. It's really interesting. It's building up toward that 9/9 portal energy, which is going to be very powerful. I'm getting together. I will be doing a video for you guys on that. I'm also going to be doing a video with Empath Uprising about the 9/9 portal. And that's going to be powerful as well. So there's a lot of energies. I've been looking into these energies, and so I'm definitely seeing how things are building towards and supporting the energy of that portal. But it's very much about that right now. And so those wounds coming up today, possibly, where in the past we have compromised ourselves, or for some where we haven't compromised enough. But remember, what is true compromise? True compromise is where both people leave feeling as though they got what they need. Not where one person gets what they need and the other person either pretends that they're okay with what they're receiving or whatever. I don't know. You guys know where I'm going with that, right? It's when both people feel as though they got what they need. They may not have gotten everything they want, but they got what they need. Right? So where is it that for some people, it may fall on either ends of the spectrum. Either where you compromise yourself too much, or where you're seen where you haven't compromised or been willing enough to bend and become mutable. Where that I almost said where that mutation is required, but we don't necessarily want to say it like that. So that's going to be a big energy that we're working with today. And this is going to be compounded by the fact that we have the moon conjunct Eris, who is also retrograde in the sign of Aries. So that Eris, that is the feminine warrior energy. This is the energy of bringing things to the surface. Eris, in perhaps a very, what's the word that I want to use? In a very intense way, we'll say. Perhaps more intense than necessarily always necessary. Shows what's been hidden. What's been pushed, what's been swept under the rug, swept under the carpet. Eris is a champion for justice. Eris is an energy, it's definitely a warlike energy. But there are positives to that as well. When our empowerment is a positive thing, it's just how we utilize that empowerment. And so we may find people today who are acting on the lower vibratory energies of this meeting here. Eris has similar energy to Mars and Pluto. It's sort of like if you wrapped Mars and Pluto's energy up into one, you would get the energy of Eris. So there's a lot of intensity in the emotional body coming to the surface today. People may be triggered. They may be acting from that place of wounding, both with that and this Chiron action that we have today. So just be aware of that. Just be aware that you're not becoming one of those people. If you feel yourself getting reactive, look at why that is. Look at what it is that's coming up. But there may be things coming up in our own emotional bodies, simply for us to see and understand. Areas where we have felt suppressed and repressed, where we have felt victimized by injustice. And remember, there are no victims. This is a big energy. This is a big closeout energy that we're going to be looking at with the 9-9 portal too, this closing out of the victim consciousness. All right, there is no such thing as a victim. But yeah, it could be a bit of a tumultuous day as we're really. And remember, when we learn how to step into our empowerment, it's not always neat and pretty. It's that lunar, remember that lunar tone, that tone of challenge, that tone of polarity, polarization. We bounce from one extreme to the other sometimes. So people who are not typically very assertive may find themselves being overly assertive to the point of aggression, right? And people who are generally very assertive may find themselves going the other way. There's going to be a lot of different ways that this energy plays out. There may be a lot that's revealed to us around our empowerment, around our independence, around our ability to be who we want to be in the world, to do what we want to do, and to say what we want to say. And where and who and what it is that we feel is hindering us from that process. And really stepping into more of our truth when it comes to our personal relationships. See, nothing's ever an accident. That's what we were talking about at the very beginning of this reading. So that energy is very prevalent. Then we also have Mercury still in an opposition to Neptune and Pallas retrograde. We had Mars conjunct Mercury earlier during the full moon in Aquarius, that final full moon in Aquarius. Now Mercury has moved a little further and I'm not feeling them as such a connected energy anymore, but we're definitely feeling this Mercury opposing Neptune and Pallas energy. So this is still a huge mental activation. This is an ongoing, it was the most powerful when Mars and Mercury were closer together, but it's still very powerful. It's a psychic activation as well. And it's clarity that's coming through. Mental clarity, that vision, right? Yes, that eagle vision coming through. That clearer vision, those psychic pathways activating, seeing through illusion. Yeah, so a lot of intense energies that we're working with today. Yeah, and it is interesting to note that we have here the nodes, which are always opposing each other, but we still have Juno conjunct the South Node. And we have Black Moon Lilith and Ceres conjunct the North Node. And this would be one approximation of Black Moon. True Black Moon's a couple degrees further away. There are different ways that we estimate Black Moon Lilith's position, because she's very erratic and it's very hard to get an exact approximation on where she is. But that's an interesting energy, right? Because we have the repressed, the wounded feminine. We have those areas where we push back against oppression or suppression with the Ceres energy, which is this beautiful nurturing. That is a feminine energy as well, but it's a nurturing, mothering energy. So really we're already seeing this process that I'm feeling as well, moving into that 9-9 portal of the healing of the wounded feminine. And with this Juno opposition here, once again, it's that relationship energy coming back up. And think about it too when we're talking about the energy of Venus and Libra. What is feminine energy when it's not balanced by the masculine? It has no borders. It has no boundaries. Right? So that's that Venus and Libra, the lower expression of Venus and Libra energy right there that we were talking about. So creating those boundaries. And that's part of the healing is that taking on of that masculine energy, the working with the masculine energy to create that structure, to create those boundaries, to feel nurtured and protected. All right, Okay. Excuse me, guys. So my eyes landed on the Earth Magic, so we're going to pull a couple Earth Magic cards to get us started today. Clear. Checking so that I can do the timestamp here. All right. What guidance do we have for today, this beautiful Blue Eagle Day? Blue Galactic Eagle. I believe I said it was. What guidance do we have from the Earth Magic deck? From all of the beautiful magical creatures of the Earth. Okay. So we have the Iceberg submerged. And this is powerful because this is like the understanding. And I'm thinking about the iceberg that sunk the Titanic right now, right? So there was only a tiny piece visible above the surface, but underneath the surface, it was massive. And so this is that understanding that there's so much underneath the surface that we don't see. That's the limited human perspective when we're talking about that versus the eagle perspective. And the second card out is perspective, Milky Way. And the third card out is winter solstice, reflection. So how absolutely perfect. So gaining that greater perspective, right? Knowing and understanding that there's so much more under the surface. And so this is also if we have difficulties with people around us today, understanding that what they're showing us is it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's far more going on with them than what we know. And so taking that into account in every interaction that we have. But really paying attention to what aspects of ourselves and our own perspective are submerged under the surface. Are we willing to dive deeper today? It's not just about flying high, it's also about diving deep. So that we get that 360 perspective. Opening, widening our perspective, and reflecting upon what it is that we find. I love this too because this looks like a portal, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like the Galactic Center? Remind you of the Galactic Center? This is also that deeper understanding. And notice too, we've got the reflection in the water down here. What is being reflected to you today? Right? What is being mirrored to you in order to be brought into your perspective or consciousness? What truth is hidden underneath the surface that's wanting to be revealed? Remember, we have that Mercury opposing Neptune and Pallas retrograde that is activating our abilities to see beyond the surface. We have the people that will be reflecting to us what's ready to be seen, known, and understood. Yeah, and we have fog veiled on the bottom of the deck. So when we are sailing across the waters of our lives, of our consciousness today, and we see that iceberg, the tip of that iceberg sticking out, go deeper, explore that deeper, get a deeper perspective of it, and reflect upon what you see. Then we have love, compassion coming out with ancestors, generations. And we have rain, purification on the bottom of the deck with childhood and innocence under that. And there is an energy of purification right now as we are in Virgo season, as we are moving through this toward this 9/9 portal. So it's this energy of compassion, bringing this compassion into everything that we do today. And it's interesting too because I was on Empath Uprising, they were talking about compassion and how the word compassion can mean to suffer with. And so that kind of put an interesting spin in my mind thinking about that. And so now I look at the word compassion a little bit differently. But like when I see compassion, it means the highest form of empathy, where we are understanding the suffering of another. But we aren't required to suffer with them. We can understand that, we can appreciate that, but we don't have to delve into it. There's a lot of hands here too. Are you guys seeing all these hands? There's something with the hands, the energy of the hands. So today may be a good day to do Reiki, other forms of healing, to work with your hands, to use your hands. We may be even receiving activations in our hands, which is interesting. And it's like our ancestors are saying this energy of love, this energy of compassion is healing us. Especially when it is, when it is outwardly expressed, but when it's expressed toward the self as well. That is so powerful. So today is a day to really take your hands, place them on your heart and feel that energy, send that love energy back to yourself. And then radiate it from the self out to the world. But start with the self. Today is a day where kindness will be very well received. And I feel like there are people today who will benefit so much from even the littlest kindnesses. It's sort of like what we were saying of we don't know, we only see the tip of the iceberg. We don't know what somebody's going through. So today I feel as though for some people watching this, you may give just a little bit of love and kindness to somebody and it will shift their entire life. And this is possible any day, but today it feels really specific or really strong. So take every opportunity, especially when we have all of these trauma, these wounds like we talked about coming up in people, where people may be a little bit more difficult. Extend that love. Extend that kindness to people today. See through the illusion, right? See through the veil. The illusion is what they present to you on the outside. The illusion is them snapping at you or flipping you off in traffic or yelling at you over something trivial, right? That's the illusion. See beyond that to the truth. See beyond that to their heart, to their soul essence. And be kind. That kindness today could go a long way. It feels like somebody out there is in a really dark place, and a simple act of kindness shifts their choice and their motivation in doing something that would be harmful to them or to others. Yeah. And it's also like another energy coming through with this ancestral healing, right? Is like the more we bring love and compassion into our daily lives, towards ourselves and towards others, we're really healing. It's such powerful ancestral healing that we're doing simply by bringing in this energy of love and compassion. And it may not be easy, you know. We don't have to put we can love people without putting ourselves in compromising positions. We can love people without compromising ourselves. We can love people without even interacting with them. So it's all about the different ways that we continue to show love. Even when, you know, when we talk about ancestral healing, a lot of times, those who come here to do the most powerful ancestral healing are known as the outcasts or the black sheeps, the rainbow sheep, whatever you want to call them, of the family. And there are a lot of people right now who are also realizing that they have to cut ties with their family in the physical because they're simply not healthy for them right now. And there may be some guilt for some people around that. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are personally spending time with your family. You are still healing them. But it's that love. It's that putting yourself first, like we said. You put your hands on your heart and you send that love to you first. It's choosing you first is the ultimate act of love and compassion. And even if they are not appreciating you in the physical, they are appreciating you in the non-physical for what you are doing to shift those patterns, right? We don't have to endure toxic patterns and cycles. We get to choose when those are completed for us, and we don't have to remain in them, participating through default by keeping people in our lives that are toxic and engaged in these toxic cycles. That's how we end them. That's how we heal this for our ancestors, is by stepping out of that. We can love somebody from a distance. We can love the truth of their soul without loving and condoning the toxic behaviors, the toxic cycles, without giving them the space and the permission to continue to harm us. Right? We can revoke that permission. We can revoke their access to our space, but it doesn't mean we don't love them. It doesn't mean we don't have love for them. Woo! Then we got rainbow and dance coming out. Blessings and celebration. I love that for some closing energy right there, you guys. Yes, so really working with that energy. And we have forest breath at the bottom of the deck with dawn, new beginnings, and dreamtime creation. Beautiful. Ancient healing wisdom under that. So there's a lot of positive energy coming out here today, too. Appreciate your blessings. Celebrate your blessings. Because believe me, they are only going to multiply. Don't lament your blessings. Celebrate them. Yeah. Celebrate them and watch them multiply. Call them in, call them to you. Today is also a day where working with dance with the physical movement can be really powerful too. All right. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. You are incredible. Each and every single one of you. You are so powerful. You are so amazing. So if nobody else told you that today, I'm telling you that right now. I see you. I see you and I honor you and all the work that you're doing on this earth plane. It is recognized. It is appreciated. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do. It helps the channel to continue to grow. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. My email address is listed down below. That's what I was trying to say there. If you guys want to do any personal one-on-one work with me, please shoot me out an email. It is my privilege and my honor. And I will talk to you all soon.